This week, Justice McLean presided over a matter before him in the court regarding to many of the activities of the protesters. And he reaffirmed in his courtroom that we have a constitutional right to be here, to do this protest. We recognize there is a significant amount of pressure on city officials. Our issues are not with the city of Ottawa. Our issues are not with the city residents. Our issues are with the federal government, in particular the Liberal Party of Canada, who have formed a government. That is who our issues are with. We have a legal right to be here as Canadian citizens. We are exercising that legal right to do so. Given the pressures to the city, I have been working tirelessly. I've been working very hard to work with the city officials to relieve some of the pressure on the city managers, the law enforcement, and the residents themselves. We have shoveled snow. We have cleaned garbage. We have fed the homeless. We have helped out in medical emergencies. We have done everything within our power to support the people of Ottawa and to find a way to get our message across while still remaining relevant and putting pressure where pressure is due on the federal government. We have no interest in federal politics. We have one mission, and that is to end the mandates and to stop this from happening again. We do not have any interest in meddling in internal political strife. We have no interest in meddling in the mechanisms of government. We just want to end the COVID-19 vaccine passports, the masks, the mandates. We want the laws to be reaffirmed. Okay? We have worked tirelessly to communicate that goal. At some levels of government, that doesn't seem to be penetrating. Okay? It's very frustrating. 2 days ago, I did an address very similar to this, and I begged for somebody from the city of Ottawa to sit at a table with me at noon, 2 days ago. It's now Wednesday night, and I'm doing another address like this, and I'm doing everything in my power to work with the city of Ottawa to relieve the pressure on them. But it would appear that that has not been very fruitful. It would appear that certain members of the Ottawa Council are trying to use this Freedom Convoy 2022 to further their own careers and to continue to put pressure on law enforcement, to escalate use of force, not de-escalate it. We are a peaceful protest. We want to go home, but we are here for as long as the Canadian public wants us to be here. And how do we know that they want us here? Because they send us money, they send us food, they send us fuel, they send us their love, they send us letters, they send us their stories. They want us to be here. So we will be here for as long as the Canadian public wants us to be here. I invite the federal government to sit at a table and let's find a way to resolve this. I will not allow this to be derailed by insignificant politicians at this local level who have aspirations of greatness. We are aware that there is a process center that has been set up in the city with fingerprinting equipment, camera equipment, and it's a facility meant to process arrested truckers. We are prepared for this. If we are arrested, we will be taken into custody peacefully. We will not resist. Okay? We have a team of pro bono lawyers here in Ottawa who have set up an entire clinic to help our drivers deal with all the nuisance tickets that we're getting, all the ridiculous nickel and dime issues that we've been dealing with, in order to put pressure and annoyance onto the truckers. For those of you who are at home and you feel that this is much more than what it really appears to be, it is not. We are here for one thing and one thing only. And that is just to end the mandates. I know that the PMO's office has given instructions down to the city level to end this by Saturday. He does not want to end this through leadership, which is what people elected him to do. He doesn't want to end this through dialogue. He wants to end this by his old playbook that he's been using for the last 2 years, which is to talk about swastikas. Swastikas? Really? That's the tactic? That's unacceptable. It's irresponsible. It's immoral. It's unethical for a sitting prime minister to talk about people that have a legal right to exercise their charter rights to protest. But he continues down this road. I will sit at a table with you, Mr. Prime Minister. I will talk to you. I will work out a deal with you that is amicable to everybody. I don't do that on my own volition. I do that on behalf of the truckers. I will sit down right now, any place, any time with you. Let's solve this. Let's get at a table. People sent the members of Parliament to Ottawa to represent, to lead. That's what we expect from you. That's not what we're getting. In exchange, what we're getting is the propensity to use tough talk and angle yourself, position yourself to a violent outcome. We are not going to give that. We will not be tricked into that. That is never going to happen. We are a peaceful convoy. It says, this has been going on for that they have gone through for the last 2 years. The way their lives have been destroyed, their incomes impacted, the jobs lost, the suicides, children that are 6 years old telling their families they want to die. That's ridiculous. Justice McLean has told you loud and clear. He has reaffirmed you loud and clear. We have a right to be here, a right to be heard, a right to protest. That is what we are here to do. We are prepared to be arrested peacefully. We have legal representation already prepared. We know that the Canadian Armed Forces are doing their staff checks right now. We know other police forces all across Ontario are being asked to get involved. We also know that retired members of the military, active members of the military, retired members of all levels of law enforcement, active members of law enforcement, want no part of this. They think it's morally wrong. It's not what they signed up for. This is ridiculous that this late in the game, I have to be making statements to the government of Canada to get them to sit at a table. I do not anticipate in any way that the Canadian forces would come here with aggressive vehicles, aggressive stance. So I'd like to put any of the discussion or rumor of that to rest now. I understand the Canadian Armed Forces. They will support law enforcement, and they know that they cannot be seen to be taking over from law enforcement. That is part of their mandate. They will not. I understand that. I understand that they'll take on a supporting role. That's fine. We are not afraid of members of the Canadian Armed Forces coming here. This is a peaceful protest. We have no fear here. We are prepared. We're highly motivated because we can't go home. We cannot go home. We cannot abandon our families. We cannot abandon our communities. Everybody here in this convoy is here for their children. That's why we're here. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry. Get somebody in a room with me who does.